welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy at the request of Patreon subscriber Phil, and this is Nadu Breakfast. Phil gave me a dealer's choice to do whatever I want in the new post-ban format, explore decks that I think are good, and right now, at the time of recording, the top 5 decks, according to MTG Goldfish, are Eldrazi in number 1, Oops All Spells in number 2, and then Bant Nadu, Nadu Elves, and Nadu Breakfast are number 3, 4, and 5. Seems to me that Nadu Winged Wisdom is an important card at the Legacy format right now. Who could have predicted this? But I promise you the tone of my videos is not going to be, wow, all these obviously powerful cards that didn't get banned. I am going to embrace the new format until I am miserable, and so far I'm not miserable. I am enjoying exploring the new post-Frog, post-Vexing Bubble format, even if there are some obvious winners left over from the previous one. And Cephalid Breakfast is a winner in terms of no Vexing Bubble. This is a deck that is trying to cast a spell for 0 mana and protect it with other spells that cost 0 mana. This is the combo deck that people thought Vexing Bubble was designed to slow down. Or it is in the range of combo decks that Vexing Bubble was supposed to do, rather than protect other combo decks. This is the bad guy that Vexing Bubble was designed to stop, and we no longer have to worry about that. Cephalid Breakfast, a deck near and dear to me, a deck that I have won real tournaments in real life with in the past. The combo is Cephalid Illusionist. Whenever it becomes targeted, you mill 3 Nomads in core, redirect the next 1 damage to another creature. You can mill your deck with Cephalid Illusionist, which triggers Narcomoebas, which gives you fodder for Dread Return, then you bring back Thassa's Oracle and you win. And this can all happen turn 2, turn 1 Nomad or Shuko, turn 2 Illusionist, force or Daze to protect it, off we go. GG. That's been a deck in the Legacy format for years, basically since the printing of Urza Saga. It came back. It was an old deck in much older formats, but it came back into Legacy when Urza Saga was printed as a reliable way to tutor Shuko. But Nadu has supercharged it. Nadu goes off with all the same stuff that Illusionist does, the Nomad, the Shuko, and if you start flipping cards off the top of your deck, you can either just outvalue your opponent, because you are a blue deck with Swords of Plowshares and Force of Will. You can just play normal Magic while drawing too many cards a turn with Nadu. Or you could Nadu until you hit an Illusionist and then start hitting your Illusionist and then combo off. Or you can just slow Nadu your way through your entire deck until you cast the Thassa's Oracle fair and square. All of these are lines this deck has. If your opponent has somehow turtled up versus all of those lines, you can also just make constructs with Urza Saga and beat down. That's in here. Teferi is great counterplay for hate bears or lock pieces, as well as counter spells. You have good removal. The Memory's Journey gives you a second round if you are playing against Graveyard Hate. If you mill your whole deck, target your Thassa's Oracle with Dread Return, your opponent Surgical extracts it, you can, in response, Memory's Journey, put Thassa's Oracle on top of your deck, and then draw it and cast it on the following turn and still win. Layers on layers here. And that's what I like about a deck. I love a combo control deck. I like Cephalid Breakfast. I'm excited to try this out. Let's get into it. This is Nadu Breakfast from Phil. Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy is having 2 events in early 2025. January 25th, find them in Houston, Texas, and February 1st, find them in Columbus, Ohio. Win your place in history by getting your name on the infamous Buffalo Chicken Dip Trophy, and enjoy delicious Buffalo Chicken Dip while you play. BCDL is one of the premier grassroots tournament organizers in the Legacy community. If you're near Houston or Columbus, check them out. Strongly recommended from me. Sign up through the spicerack.gg links in the video description or through spicerack.gg. I'm on the draw in round 1 with a tragic hand featuring Nomad and Illusionist, but no actual source of mana to cast this Ponder or this Plow. I am going to keep this based on the upside, though. This is the type of hand that just wins game 1s without really thinking. Oh, or it's a hand that has double Force of Will versus Oops All Spells. Interesting. Hey. Okay, I'm going to play the Nomad off of a Tundra. Tundra and Nomad. Leading on the Nomad means I still have double force, double blue card if this is oops and they do send it. It could also be some Black Stompy deck that would use Chrome Mox and be incentivized to have Agadim in there. Okay, they just played a second tap land. I drew a Narcomoeba, that doesn't actually matter. Cavern on Wizard. Or is Octopus funnier? Nadu is a wizard if this gets broken up. Alright, yeah. Wizard is correct, but Octopus is funnier. Uncounterable Cephalid. Double force backup. Off we go. Okay, yeah, they've had enough. Okay, we saw 2 tap lands, but they didn't send it. Would Oops All Spells keep a hand like this? Or is this a Black Stompy deck that had kind of a slow rollout? I think I have to treat it like it's Oops All Spells, primarily because that is the deck that obliterates you if you're wrong, where I could just play kind of a normal game versus a Black Stompy deck with Nomad and Illusionist and Nadu and stuff and just try to make that work. Force of Negation is kind of a wonky object versus Oops All Spells because obviously it's a force. Like at level 0, it's a force. But at level 1, they could do something like land, exile 2 Spirit Guides, play their creature, and then force doesn't work. But they'd have to cast the Dread Return eventually, but their deck is built so well these days that maybe that doesn't matter. Okay, I am going to lean heavily in the direction that this is Oops All Spells, to the point of cutting all my plows, which is going to punish the hell out of me if it is actually Black Stompy. But I think that's fine. Cutting Daze, I am on the draw where Daze might be too slow, but it is a free permission spell if I get a turn, and every little bit could matter, because like I said in the intro, Oops All Spells is the second top deck in Legacy right now after Eldrazi. Which might just be meta fluctuation. People cut all their graveyard hate because Reanimate got nerfed. But, surprise, there's still this busted combo deck that exists. I think I'm actually going to cut a Nadu, which I'm not excited about, but I don't think I could cut any other non-blue cards unless I cut another land. I could cut a Nomad, maybe. Okay. This is a hand that if they are Oops All Spells and they send it on turn 0, I am going to lose. But in the sideboard games, these decks tend to slow down a little bit. And if I get a turn to deploy Soul Guide Lantern, that's good. Soul Guide Lantern even beats Sanded Swarm, which is one of the things they could do out of the sideboard. Oh, wow, a red one. I don't think we're playing against that deck now. This might be that terrible Necro Dominance deck. Okay. Don't like my chances here. Does that deck even play this card? I'm not sure what's going on, honestly. Okay, I have Surveil lands in my deck. I'm going to go get one here. My opponent just went land pass. I don't even know what's happening right now. I'm going to get Meticulous Archive. Illusionist. All right. Put that on top. I'm going to play Saga and Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern has to eat my Flooded Strand because that's not optional. But I don't think that matters. I also don't think the Soul Guide Lantern matters if I'm right about the matchup here. But I can present to win 2 turns from now by tutoring Shuko and playing Illusionist at the very least. Okay, we may never know what they were actually doing, but apparently they can't beat a Soul Guide Lantern. Then the next round. Your path to the Pro Tour starts here. Don't miss Magic Spotlight Foundations, January 3rd through 5th, 2025 at SCGCon Atlanta. Kick off the new year with Magic's most exciting new event. Compete in the brand new Foundation Standard format with $50,000 in prizes, 8 Pro Tour Aether Drift invites, and it's the only place to get the exclusive, borderless Terror of the Peaks promo card with art by the beloved Richard Kane Ferguson. All main event participants will get the exclusive Terror of the Peaks, but the top 128 will also earn a foil version of this breathtaking promo. Your path to the Pro Tour starts here, but only if you're part of the action. Come join me for Magic Spotlight Foundations at SCGCon Atlanta, January 3rd through 5th. Your sign-up link is in the video description. I'm on the draw in round 2. Another one-lander that could go off on turn 2. This time it's not with protection, but it does have multiple layers of backup if I find the 3rd land. Actually, with a Narcomoeba in hand, this can't go off on turn 2. There's only 2 Narcomoebas in the deck, and Nomad, Illusionist, 1 Narcomoeba is 3 creatures, but Illusionist, Shuko, 1 Narcomoeba is not, so this doesn't actually even go off. I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, we've got a Nadu situation here. I'm gonna keep and bottom. I think it's Shuko. I know like the Narcomoeba's there, but if I draw a Force of Will, that's a blue card I could use. And if I draw Illusionist on turn 2, I have enough creatures anyway. Opponent went to 5. Let's see if we just die here. A mountain. What decks have mountains in them? Red Stompy, that's on a slow start. Okay, Nomad off basic planes. Getting Blood Moon here would not be great. But I do have 3 spells I could cast even under a Blood Moon. Chalice of the Void, okay. Well, I resolved my most important 1-drop already. Now I have a backup blue card if I draw a Force of Will. Narcomoeba beats, make it happen. Having Narcomoeba in play also protects Nomads. If they like Shatter Skull smashing it or Fiery Confluence or something, I can redirect the damage to Narcomoeba. My next blue or green land gets me cooking. Chalice on 2. All right. Illusionist is off. Come on, blue or green land. Magic is hard. Okay, if they Chalice on 3, I'm almost out of options. But I am mostly fine if I draw a land here before they threaten my life. Oh, that one's bad. Okay, here we go. I do play a basic island, but that doesn't cast Nadu. I need like basic island into Teferi. Well, hilariously, there's the basic island, but it turned late to actually deploy Nadu. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to lose this game. I am applying pressure, but barely. If I draw Teferi, we can game. All right, we're deploying Spirit Guides now. This is the phase of the game we're in. Another Plow. Narcomoeba. Keep it happening. That flies where I come from. It's been a long time since Red Stompy was constructed specifically as a prison deck. It's more of an aggro deck with light prison elements now, but this prison draw just slowly took off all of my options right on time as well. Each one right as it needed to happen. It's funny because a Pyroglyph would be 0 here. All right, the second Spirit Guide. Now the race is actually difficult. Teferi? Misty Rainforest. What am I playing to? Is it actually just Teferi? Yeah, it's literally Teferi is the card in my deck that I could cast. Oh, Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal and Teferi. Well, I'm not going to start blocking, so I will keep attacking with the Narcomoeba. Yeah, Lotus Petal would be a sick rip. Break this open. I am losing the race, but I'm committed to make it for as long as I can. Stop doing stuff. Okay. Well, there's the Shadow Skull. I will send the damage over to Narcomoeba and keep the important creature. Another Plow. Run out of options here. Here's the attack. Fable. Almost out of time here. That's not the draw. I get one more draw step this game. I will hang out for it because I am a combo deck. They discarded a Blood Moon but kept a different card. If there's any card in their area that does anything, I'm dead. Pyroglyph's up to a 3 at this point, if they have that one. And Pyroglyph arriving as a 3. They should kill the Nomads. Yep. All right. Now I'm on Nomads. GG. Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. Hitting my 3rd land drop wins that game. A Force, a Daze win that game. A Teferi wins that game. But I didn't have any of those things. They did it. Prismatic Ending, Serenity. These all come in. Hydroblast. Force and Negation is an option. It is good against lock pieces, bad against their proactive plan. But if I'm just sending it and not getting locked out, that's pretty good. I have to kind of decide here if I want to settle into a mid-range thing and try to control them, or if I want to just hyper-focus and protect what I'm doing and try to go fast. And I expect this deck to have Leyline of the Void or Fairy Macabre, which means that just going all in on being fast is probably a mistake. I don't want to cut more than 1 land, and Saga's really bad against Blood Moon, even worse than Cavern. And Cavern on Wizard can get a Nadu or an Illusionist through a Chalice on 2 or 3, or Nomad through a Chalice on 1s, and that's not without text. Ponder can be too slow in matchups like this. That gets me 1 Force. Do I need both? I think I'm going to stop right there and bring in 1 Force, but not cut anything further for the second one. Ugh. I like Swords to Plowshares, Nomad, Nadu. Even Teferi's fine. I don't like Brainstorm as my Hail Mary to do anything. I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, this one has access to basic planes. Right, I'll keep and bottom Narcomoeba. I'm going to get my Nomad into play before they could chalice it. They did not start on a ley line. Noteworthy. Zapped in a Shatter Skull. Chrome Mox. Disruptor Flute. Okay. So Nomad is a blank for now. 1/1 creature. 1 mana 1/1. Mons Goblin Raiders. But that doesn't turn off Brainstorm, and this Flooded Strand gets basic island, which means Teferi is safe from Blood Moon here. I'm just going to attack and chill. I'm insulated from a lot of the things their deck does right now. Blood Moon. All right. Well, let's get the island and chill. Hello there. If I play Teferi and plus, what happens? Because I would like to clear this Disruptor Flute, but they can currently just replay it. I could also play the Illusionist this turn, hold up Swords to Plowshares, and then Teferi into win next turn. That leaves me wide open to a instant speed interaction of some kind. I think it's better to do it like this, because if they have something that kills Teferi, then my whole game plan doesn't really make any sense. I'd love if they just play it like Lelia or Rabblemaster, some shit that doesn't matter right now. Oh no. Well, or they could just sweep my whole board. It did cost them 2 cards to do, though. And Illusionist milled over Hydroblast Thassa's Oracle. So Oracle's already out of the way. I didn't want to draw it anyway, but the Hydroblast may have been nice at some point. Teferi Time Raveler's on the stack with Force backup. We're fluting in response. I don't think I want that to happen, because I could just name Teferi. If I bounce this Chrome Mox, they're playing on 2 mana until they come up with another thing to do. Nadu once again locked out by Blood Moon. My Needle's still in the deck. I have a bunch of answers to Blood Moon now. Versus Saga. Hand looking terrible versus Blood Moon. I'm a couple turns away. I could bounce the Blood Moon when Teferi gets back up to 3. The Chrome Mox is back. They've found enough material that they're comfortable using this. Pitched another Blood Moon to it. Illusionist is back. I guess I could have just put that into play. What am I worried about? This Pyroglyph. Fable, always strong. Gonna plow the Goblin immediately. Not interested. Ooh, the Teferi into re-Teferi. What do I do with this? I could bounce Blood Moon, cast Nadu, or I could bounce Blood Moon, play second Teferi. Does that even do anything? Getting Nadu into play is pretty nice, but bouncing Blood Moon does give them 4 mana for a turn. And I don't currently have a plan to use this Nadu. But it just being in play is pretty good, though. Alright, I'm going to bounce Blood Moon. Archamoeba. And I still can't play the Urza Saga, because they're just going to replay Blood Moon next turn. If they loot away the Blood Moon, thinking it might not be useful anymore and they need to turn the corner, then the Urza Saga unlocks. Yeah, they kept their whole hand. Perfect. A5. Is this a Fury on the hard cast? That will trigger Nadu. Alright, here we go. Nadu's dead. It was worth a card. This flips. Shuko. Okay, so do I win? I have to beat Fairy Macabre. There's one unknown card in their hand. And I actually can do the Memories Journey trick, but I won't have blue next turn. I won't have 3 creatures in play either. Never mind. This doesn't actually work. Yeah, there's one Archamoeba still in my deck. I mean, I'll get the pieces in play at least. Shuko. Illusionist. Do you think they'll just snap concede? That would be sweet. They shouldn't, but it would be sweet. Okay. I could Memories Journey. Nope, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, this build just doesn't get that many creatures into play that quickly. Just knowing that there's a Blood Moon in their hand and I'm not going to have double blue next turn, extremely complicated. And I can't make another creature with Urza Saga because Saga's about to get mooned away. Yep, that's gone. Hedge Maze. I think Teferi has to bounce the Reflection or I just lose. Immediately lose. Yep, just dead if I don't do this. Force of Will is not the worst card I could ever draw. It would have been better last turn where I could fight over the moon. I can present a win this turn, though. I can hardcast Narcomoeba, start equipping, mill the other Narcomoeba, and try to send it. I still lose to Fairy Macabre, but at this point I can't play around that. They're going face. I'll take it. Mountain from hand. We know Fable's in there, and then there's 2 unknowns. one of which hasn't changed in a long time. There's at least one card in their hand that's been there for at least 3 turns. Perhaps the whole game, even. Swords to Plowshares. Not important here. Also not blue. A Narcomoeba from hand. All I could do is send it. And just milling until they either concede or reveal the Fairy Macabre. There's the Dread Return. We're almost there. They have an F6. There's the other Narcomoeba. I've shown you I can win here. Do you have Disruption? And I do have to go all the way in here. I have Teferi, so I could actually stop with 3 cards left in my deck if I think that matters. Okay, I mean, might as well leave myself with 3 cards, right? There's nothing they could do that could kill. All right. I'm going to stop at 3. Give myself a chance if they have Macabre. I don't even know what that looks like. It's just this theoretical possibility that maybe I play the game a little more and then concede. Yeah, okay. Covered. Yeah, the without the Blood Moon in play, I could Memory's Journey. Or did I board out Memory's Journey? I did. All right, so that was never a line anyway. Okay, yeah. Had me covered a million different ways. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 3 versus Nevilleshoot, who is a known combo player. Oops All Spells, second most represented deck in the format right now. I like my hand against anyone who's not sending it on turn 1. I think Nevilleshoot also plays Doomsday, where I have a little more movement. I'm going to try this. I would keep this hand in the blind, and I don't want to completely skunk showcasing a deck and what I would do with that deck, because I have some information about the opponent. Okay, it's not Oops All Spells, could be Doomsday. If I play Saga, I can send an attempt on turn 3. I don't think that is reliable, and I think I'm going to have to protect myself sooner than that. I'm going to play Misty Rainforest and pass. Brainstorm. I think I'm going to fetch Meticulous Archive in the end step. A no shuffle on the Brainstorm. Might be by design, might use Consider to clear the cards in the end step. Shuko. I like that a lot, actually. That lets me do stuff like Brainstorm right now and go for a full combo on turn 3. Narcomoeba back in the deck. There's a Saga back in the deck. I'm going to get Tropical Island and cast Ponder. I would love to have a piece of interaction versus what's certainly a combo deck. All right, just 3 more sets at the combo. Gonna shuffle that. Found Nadu. Not what I was looking for. I can test with Teferi and then go again the turn after that. Okay, Lauren revealed. Did have a shuffle for the Brainstorm after all. Tutored for Undercity Sewers. That does not seem like the play somebody who's going to win this turn would make. Unless it's like Doomsday, put Deep Analysis on top, surveil it away on purpose. But that's not what happened. There's a Saga. Okay. I could try to win this turn, or I could play Teferi this turn. I'm going to play Teferi. Because this is do or die. They have to interact with this. It's in. Interesting. I'm going to bounce nothing and draw a card. I'd love to find Force of Will. Daze is not nothing. All right, cool. I now have something that does anything. And that Teferi resolved very quickly, which makes me suspicious that the hand is just all send or all cantrips. But they didn't cantrip at all last turn. Ancient Tomb. All right, were we show and tell the whole time? Am I just dead? Okay, cool. Got me that way. Dazing here doesn't do anything. I guess I'll just put Nadu into play. And probably lose. Oh yeah, we're dead. There's Atraxa for free. Multiple Minds' Eyes. All right, opponent is in the lab. I'm here for it. I don't care though. All right, so I was making a plan versus Doomsday, which is not what they were actually doing. Never found a Force of Will, which would have been huge there. Okay. We're against some sort of show and tell deck. Could pivot onto Reanimator. It's in the correct colors to do that. Being blue-black Omni Show gives you Thoughtseize. That's a reason to be black, but pivoting is also a reason. Definitely all my counterspell stuff is coming in. The plows could be good versus something like a Bowmaster or a Shouldred if they're on the juke, Dothy Voidwalker. But I'm not going to play around that till they show it to me. Soulkind Lantern, Pithing Needle, Fairy Macabre. Do I want one Macabre in just in case? Lantern cantrips, at least, if nothing else is going on. Okay, I'm going to try this. Consign to Memory could counter an Atraxa trigger, or triggered ability or colorless spell. Not spell that was not cast with any colored mana. That's Void Mirror. Okay, this does not stop cards that were cast for free. Just reminding myself of the exact words. Okay, I'm gonna just try to be a combo deck here. Ouch. Multiple times the mana has punished me here. I'm gonna mulligan this. Much better. Keep and bottom. I don't hate Teferi, but I think it is the worst card in the hand. Alright, sorry Teferi, you're out of here. If these cantrips don't come up with an illusionist, that Teferi, I'm going to miss it quite a lot. But I don't want to play a long stability game because, as we saw, the Omni Show deck is quite good at those games. I'm going to get Tundra and cast Ponder. Nadu, Illusionist, Ormschant. This is the full spread. Nadu is probably my best pitch to Force of Will here. I could Cavern on Nomad, and then if they show and tell, I could put in Nadu, and then draw Ormschant immediately, chant them, and try to survive the turn that way. Opponent's on a Multa 6 over there. We've seen Thoughtseize in their deck. Disappointing. Okay, I'm actually going to let this resolve and hope that they value Nadu over Nomads. Took the Force, okay. Somebody's interested in jamming. Okay, I'm going to Cavern on Nomad, because I would like this in play. This hedges at least a little bit against Omniscience, or against Show and Tell. Having the Illusionist uncounterable would be nice, but I can't make the follow-up uncounterable. Okay, we're doing it. They don't seem scared. I'm going to put in Nadu and hope I'm not dead. Nadu, what is the first spell you cast here? Emrakul, fuck me. All right, well, I will flip my Ormschant, which is going to be too slow. If this was Atraxa, I could just respond to Atraxa and untap and win. But unfortunately, that's not how any of this is going to go. If I had another white... Oh, I could end up with another white. That's how Nadu works. All right, never mind. I get another send here, and if I could kick the Ormschant, I can actually stop combat. Okay, we're in the upkeep. Let's go again. Flip a white source. Saga. Not quite. Archamoeba. White source. Teferi. Oh no, one more shot. Come on. Uh-oh. Well, do they have a Force of Will left in their hand? Good chance they do, but chant Conqueso. All right, we made a game out of that. That was sick. Good run. On to the next one. So far, we have played 3 matches that all went insanely fast. And is that what the format is now? Or do people just like shoving combo into open metas? We'll see. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the play in round 4 versus Mafouche Van Gogh, who is a known Dredge wizard. The Dread return in my hand is actually disastrous, because I could line up a turn 3 win here, but instead I have this shit. I think I'm still going to keep, because with the Memories Journey, you could still set up a win, it's just slightly delayed. And if I draw Brainstorm at any point, we could fix this. The Memories Journey replaced Cabal Therapy in former builds of this. The Cabal Therapy could check your opponent mid-shred, or it could discard your own Dread Return. I could have forced that, and that is usually how I play against Dredge, but being a combo deck myself, and my only blue card being the Illusionist, just a little nervous about that. I think I'd like to get a green source in the mix here. Drop. Illusionist. Okay, opponent has to go pretty hard here. I will protect this. Force pitching Nadu. Alright, game on. This extra turn we gave them because the Dread Return is in the hand might be everything here. Bridge from Below, Golgari Thug, our relevant cards hit off the Dredge. Brainstorm, oh yeah. Brainstorm and Dredge is insanely powerful. There's at least Dredge 8 here available, and anything they hit along the way is live. Okay, the first Dredge hit Grave Troll, and then they stopped dredging and just drew 2 cards and put 2 cards back on top. That's a little bit scary. Oh, well, that is the card that could let me win the game right now, that I could draw. And I'm going to tutor Shuko. I'm going to play Tundra. I'm going to start equipping. If opponent has Force of Will in hand, we're probably dead. Yeah, this would be a big spot to have Cabal Therapy in the deck. And we've seen 2 Dazes in their deck. I can play around Daze. Can't play around Force. I can set up a multi-turn line. This Meticulous Archive coming into play tapped, also just horrific for me. That delays my reset even a turn further. I currently have 4 cards in my deck. Is the Memories Journey milled yet? And what does Journey shuffles 3 cards in? So if I want reliable access to my Oracle, I actually do need to go lower than this. But I do have 5 Devotion. All right, I don't have to make any decisions yet. Oracle from hand, still some cards in my deck. Force of Will, pitching Otherworldly Gaze has happened. And yeah, that would be great if the Dread Return wasn't in my hand. Attack. And I think I hit myself one more here. Just trying to get the deck as thin as possible before I Memories Journey next turn. Though I might just die this turn. Gazing in the upkeep. We know there's a Golgari Grave Troll on top that they put away last turn. Or good chance of it. There it is. And dumped another Force of Will, which means this player is not trying to beat me with Force of Will, or already has one. The hand is Golgari Grave Troll and some unknowns. Am I dead right now? Targeting me with Cabal Therapy. Okay. Please name Dread Return. Named Thassa's Oracle. Another Therapy. Targeting yourself this time. Gonna at least get to see the hand if I'm not outright dead. Okay, just some dredgers. Oh, I guess I did know about that Thug, didn't I? Okay. Okay, so opponent has to slow dredge. We've got Bridge, Bridge, Troll, Troll, Thug, Troll, Troll. Only 3 dredgers. Thug. This is really important to get right. I'm going to take my time on it. Troll. Troll. Could flashback Gaze in the upkeep, which would do something. As Memories Journey, up to 3 target cards in graveyards. Okay. 3 target card. Oh, target player shuffles. Oh, this is not how this card works at all. I did all this work like this matters. Okay. Target player shuffles up to 3 cards from their graveyard. All right, so I have to target myself. I could also wait. What does waiting do? Nothing. Nothing good. I can play around Cabal Therapy if I wait. Okay. I'm going to draw for my turn. It's Ponder. Was there a line to put like 2 Brainstorms and like 3 Brainstorms into my deck? Brainstorm away the Dread Return. No, I'd only have 2 cards in my deck. All right, yeah, that doesn't work. Okay. Meticulous Archive. I'll play that. Surveil nothing. And I'm just going to pass the turn and hope that they don't dredge up the win. Cephalid Coliseum does target. If they just draw one of those, I am checkmated. They did draw for turn. I don't think they know what that card is, but honestly, I've lost track. Maybe they do. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Oh, I don't need these creatures. I'll absorb some damage. Temporarily. Okay, bridges are gone. There's Golgari Thug and one unknown in the hand. I can beat Daze. They can't force from here. Otherworldly Gaze doesn't target. It's Surveil 3. It's not target player does anything. Flashing back Gaze gets Poxwalker. What could this do? I'm not even sure. I kept all the cards on top, though. Hate that. Okay, end step. Memory's Journey. Target me. And target only Thassa's Oracle. Okay, what's going on in that hand? What is this mystery card? Okay, draw for turn. Alright, wow. That was weird and not how I thought that would work, but we made it through. We're going to bring in some Graveyard Hate. Naturally. Swords to Plowshares can help take some pressure off, but I think this matchup's about comboing, not about answering the Poxwalkers. Needle for Cephalid Coliseum is a line I could consider. I have Nadu into Fairy if my opponent has Leyline. And Needle, they could also play Fairy Macabre or Graveyard Mirrors. I think Fairy Macabre, well, naming Fairy Macabre's a little awkward here, but I have to win somehow. Daze looks pretty bad. I'll bring in the Needle. Cephalid Coliseum being just a card that's in their deck that I can't actually present my win through is a problem. Okay, handful of artifacts, I'll keep it. Careful Study resolves. Imp Thug in the graveyard. I'm getting unmasked. My mask. Soul Guide Lantern gone, no surprise there. I'm going to Pithing Needle and name Cephalid Coliseum. Okay, that's worth a fight. But setting themselves back a land means they can't Cephalid Coliseum this turn anyway. Archamoeba Cabal Therapy. Well, they can knock the Nadu out of my hand if they want. Or if they value Ponder higher. Named Ponder. Alright. We're in setup mode. Okay, I'm going to cast Shuko, and I can fetch Hedge Maze in the end step, threaten Nadu next turn. If they have another Cabal Therapy, I could Brainstorm in response off of Tropical Island. Another uneventful Dredge. They're out of Dredgers. Cephalid Coliseum, needling that would have been huge. I'm going to get Hedge Maze. Nomad. Do I want this? I don't think so. Shuko already resolved. I know it's like twice as many cards, but I think if I start not doing, we're okay. Right, they have two Dredgers and one unknown in hand. They could Coliseum in response, but it would be just like a value Coliseum. Gazing in response. Gazing directly into their demise. Did hit a Dredger, which makes Cephalid Coliseum terrifying. Let's do some work here. There's an Illusionist. And a Nomad. Okay. Well, opponent, you're in check, and you know it. But you could throw your deck at me this turn. Didn't Dredge in the upkeep. Or didn't Dredge draw step. Unmasking me. Yep. Here you go. These are the cards I have. Am I dead? Cabal Therapy just got a lot better because now they know I'm holding double Brainstorm. Opponent could try to trick me by leaving me with Nomad and Illusionist, but I hope this player gives me credit that I've read Cephalid Coliseum in my life, and they have. All right. Well, the Dredge missed. That means this is just a draw 2, discard 3 from here. Still have a land drop. Undercity Sewers. Didn't hit an Archamoeba, which means we get a turn to do stuff. Okay, here we go. Can Nadu on the fair and square beat Dredge on the slow Dredge? Let's find out. Pedal. And there are Fairy Macabres in my deck that I could just hit. I could play this Narcomoeba. Oh, there's an Illusionist. Did we win? Illusionist? Okay, cool. All right. Nadu into the combo after the Cephalid Coliseum was cleared. Weird game 1, pretty solid game 2, but obviously the Coliseum missing on a second and third Dredger really changes the texture of that game. On to the final round. This has been a fast league.
We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league.
On the play in the final round, positive records on the line. Armaguard, it's Tarmogoyf, is the opponent. I'm holding my Dread Return again, but that's a lot less bad when Nadu is my plan. I'm going to keep this. This is the slowest, fairest hand that I've kept so far. I'm going to play Misty Rainforest rather than Windswept Heath. This gives away less. Could be Bug Beans or just any deck with Tundra in it or whatever. Could fetch Underground Sea and cast Entomb. Windswept Heath tells a totally different story. Volcanic Island. All right. Preordain. Delver is kind of back right now. It has made a resurgence. Grixis Delver is the popular shelf for that, though I don't know that I've seen Preordain in Delver decks. That is generally more in combo decks. My heckles are raised slightly here. I'm going to get Meticulous Archive. Oh. Well, there's that one. I'm actually going to keep this on top because with the Dread Return in my hand, now I could actually combo and win. Saga gets started. My plan here is Saga to Fairy. The turn Saga pops, I get Shuko to go with Nadu, and then start getting value, which may or may not convert into winning. Wasteland, though. Do you want to take out the Saga or take out the Constructs? Because the Constructs aren't actually my plan. The Tutor is my plan, but I'm also trying to resolve multiple 3-drops here. Okay. I'm going to float a white. Make you think I have removal. And a pass. Okay. Now I'm looking for an Illusionist. Windswept Heath could fetch Hedge Maze, and I'll pass. I could still cast Teferi and Nadu next turn, or Teferi and then Nadu. Like, I could still make out the curve that I laid out in my opening plan. It just is a turn behind at this point. Hedge Maze, Brainstorm. I always like a Brainstorm. I'll keep that. Draw, float. I could Brainstorm away the Dread Return here, but I am planning on casting spells this turn. Fetching in response, just in case I need all their fetch land, presumably. Shuko. Fetch. Let's flush out the counter magic right now. Teferi. Daze. Easy squeezy. End step Brainstorm. Delver likely to flip here if any of the 8 cards they were looking at was a spell last turn. And flipped Revealing Lightning Bolt. Ooh. Okay. Second Wasteland, take out the white. I could have fetched Basic Plains, but I still don't have 3 mana to play my game, if that's what happens, so it doesn't really matter. Lightning Bolt's pretty bad against Nadu, but it's very good against Cephalid Illusionist. We'll see where this goes. And now my hand, now that my combo has been disrupted in 4 different ways, holding this Oracle and Dread Return are starting to look really bad. Okay, hope they don't aggressively daze this, because I would like to sequence my land drop second. Dread Return, get back in the deck. Thassa's Oracle, get back in the deck. And I think I am actually going to protect my white source this time by using Ponder to shuffle this. Yeah, this is a bunch of Garbo. Shuffle it up. Found a white source. Delver puts me to 11. We know I'm functionally at 8 from the Lightning Bolt that's face up. Brainstorm. Can I spend another turn looking? I do play Swords to Plowshares. I have Teferi. I have Cephalid Illusionist. That would require an answer. I would be functionally at 5 if I give them another turn. I am going to Brainstorm. This lets me play around Daze. And if I find a Plow, I'm actually just good. Cavern goes a long way too. Cavern and Plow both discovered here. Dread Return. Just checking that there are still Tundras in my deck. I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah, there's one more Tundra, which means I could put away the Trop. Fetch. Grabbing a Tundra and passing the turn. I'm going to Plow Delver in their upkeep. Take some pressure off. Misty Rainforest. Are we going to see Grixis? Are we going to see Teamer? Or are we going to see none of the above? We see Murktide Region. Okay. That one is bigger than Nadu. Ponder. Okay. Cavern on Wizard. This is at least going to resolve, and I'll get 1 target out of it. Looking for the goods. Swords to Plowshares. Force of Will's not bad. Illusionist. Well, I'll cast this Nomad, which they can't kill with Lightning Bolt. Force Pitching Ponder. Okay, if I force back, I have to block, but I get a turn of development. I think I'm going to force back here. I'm a little worried about this, but I think it's okay. It's worth a lot of cards if it works. Okay, let's get some more flips. Narcomoeba in my hand now. Nomad in my hand now. Okay. I'm going to pass the turn, and I can get 4 more flips. I have to block Murktide because I'm dead to Lightning Bolt. Here comes the attack. Start redirecting damage. Saga's in. Illusionist. Illusionist. Nadu. Okay. Now I do not care if they kill my Nomad. Must block. Mistress Bauble, Lightning Bolt in the hand. 2 unknowns. Bobbling yourself. Ponder. Yeah, they've seen 2 Illusionists and a second Nomad and their Shuko in play. They know Lightning Bolt doesn't break this up on its own. Okay, there goes that. Okay, I have an uncounterable Octopus Wizard I can play. As long as I don't draw the Dread Return. We're gaming. They fetched in response, didn't like the card they saw. Drew Lotus Petal, probably among the best draws. Savannah as my land. What can they do with 3 cards? There is only 1 Narcomoeba left in the deck, so if I play Illusionist, Nomad, second Illusionist, I could cast at least 3 creatures this turn. I could lead on Nomad, that doesn't help. Alright, I'm gonna just play my uncounterable Octopus Wizard and start targeting it with Shuko. There goes Dread Return. I'm going to play Lotus Petal, and now I will cast the Nomad. If they have Lightning Bolt and Force of Will in their hand. Unholy Heat. Okay, that mills another 3. Okay, so here they would also need Force Blue card. And then they would need to top deck another Lightning Bolt after all that. But it doesn't matter, because I have 3 Illusionists and I drew the Lotus Petal. I guess they could force the Dread Return. That's the play at this point. There goes Memory's Journey, so I have that back up now. Okay, my deck is empty. If they have Force Blue card, they have to follow it up with Lightning Bolt to win, or a second Murktide. Okay, looks like we're just in though. Alright, sweet. Cool. That was fun. Versus Delver, bringing in some extra removal. Hydroblast counters some of the removal if I care about that. I'm not convinced that I do. A quick peek at MTG Goldfish has Consigned to Memory and Grafdigger's Cage as the common answers to my deck that they play. And some Pyroblast, of course. I think I'm going to shave Shuko, Lotus Petal, and Ponder and bring in 2 endings and a Chant. Chant beats Consigned to Memory and every other counterspell. Just extra removal takes the pressure off. Teferi is one of my best cards here. I could see shaving Force of Wills and just trying to play fair and move towards Nadu and Cavern of Souls, but I'm going to still be a little heavier than that. I'd be looking at the Hydroblast and the Soul Guide Lantern to bring in next if I wanted to dilute my Game 1 plan further. On the draw, looking at Prismatic Ending. Yeah, this is fine. This is the kind of Game 2 hand that I don't mind keeping. Dumped a Delver. Okay, so they already have enough threats to play the game, is what they're telling me. I'm going to play Flooded Strand. I might prioritize basics here. I'm thinking if that matters or not, because Urza Saga is going to be something I deploy at some point. I think basic is good enough here, because I could get both of them. I can access the green on the slow. Yeah, I'm just going to draw and see what happens here. Illusionist. I like that a lot. I'm going to Prismatic Ending the Delver. I know Prismatic Ending also answers things like Grafdigger's Cage that I do care about. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Wasteland. Luckily I don't need it because I drew my Shuko. Yeah, I drew access to another Surveil land. I'm going to plow this Channeler. Let's bump the brakes. Let's chill. I'm lying. I'm going to cast Nomads. If they want to daze me, pick up a tap land, cast no spells next turn, when I already have Shuko in play, I think I'm pretty okay with that. There goes the Thundering Falls, which means Consigned to Memory is not live right now. Where's the Saga? Alright. I'll play Saga to play around Daze. And check. Force of Will. Okay. And one way to interpret this is my combo just got stopped 3 different ways. Or we could interpret it as I have 4 permanents in play. One of them's Urza Saga to my opponent's 1 tap land that they've been treading water with. And I'm under no pressure because I've killed 2 creatures. If they wasteland me right now, we'll settle into kind of wonky whatever gaming for a minute. Alright, the Dread Return, worst draw imaginable on the earth. Hedge Maze, get in there, keep Swords to Plowshares on top, and now I'm just Saga gaming. I will at least get a single 2/2 out of this Urza Saga. They can't take that from me at this point. They could kill it immediately, but they can't take it away. You will never take my freedom. 2/2. 3/3. Trigger. Response to the trigger. Nothing left to tutor because I boarded them all out. Whoops. 3-3. Wish that was a 4-4. Lightning Bolt's an important card in this matchup, I've heard. Attack for 4. Well, didn't get bolted. That means we're still playing. Seeking a Beast in the end step. Flipped. Bolt and Daze. Those are good ones. Just called out Lightning Bolt as a card I wasn't excited to think about. Yep. Yeah, this is an important moment of perhaps sideboard mapping where having drawn the Shuko and having boarded out the Lotus Petal, I am now susceptible to Lightning Bolt in a spot where I did not have to be. I'm just going to bake a second Swords to Plowshares here and continue my attack of their life total. I'm going to have to fetch this turn. I was trying to weigh, do I want to keep this up for a green source or get the Surveil action? But now I have to shuffle because the top 2 cards of my deck are lands that I for sure don't want. I think I'd rather see another card with 2 plows in my hand staying heavy on white. Okay. Well, there's the green card I would have been worried about. I'm going to attack first because if they bolt, it turns off Pyroblast. And if they don't bolt to hold up Pyroblast, then they take 3. Okay. Testing the interaction. I would not be surprised by a clean answer to this. Yeah, there it is. Because they haven't deployed a threat in a while, and they have 5 cards in hand. What are those cards if they're not lands or threats? Delver. That's still smaller than what I'm doing. Force with no blue card. I'm actually just going to plow the Delver now. If you wait for it to flip, you could get some information, but I don't want them to gain 3 life because that undoes one of my attacks, and this is the only thing I have going on here. Okay, yep, here we go. Now it's back to garbage time. Ponder. Grafdigger's Cage, okay. I'm looking for Urza Saga or Nadu at this point. I could cast Force of Will. There's only 1 Saga left. I'm going to Force of Will this. That just gives me 2 shots at answering it in a spot where like Wasteland or anything could turn off this Force in the future. And if this flushes out a Pyroblast and then I just have the plow ready, that's cool. That's a extra shot at Nadu that I have now. Nadu off the top? D-Storm. Could be Nadu. Okay. Dread Return goes back into the deck. Narcomoeba goes back into the deck. Ponder is going to shuffle here. Yep, bunch of bad cards. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And now I'm going to plow. This Memory's Journey, I could just generically improve the quality of my deck by putting 2 plows and a Nadu back in there, or like 2 sagas and Nadu. Or I could save this to turn off Delirium or pitch to a Force or some other thing in the future. They found access to their green mana. They probably have 1 drop in the deck to play Questing Druid sometimes. And we've reached that point in the game. Oh, look at all this. Okay. I'm going to try to go to my turn and find a Nadu before I do anything with this Memory's Journey. Prismatic Ending, great start. Rainstorm. We did it all. Every single thing. Well, it was nice playing with you, opponent. Always a pleasure. Green, blue, colorless. Flip the Saga into play. Then draw the Swords to Plowshares. And I'm just going to hold the Swords to Plowshares and pass the turn. Nadu's bigger than everything they're doing right now. DRC has to fight. The Prismatic Ending can clear the Grafdigger's Cage, so I could actually combo off. Do I want to turn on Lightning Bolt, though? I mean, not really, but I also don't want to take 3. I could kill this creature and I could go back to chilling. 1 card off the top. And it was not the Bolt. All right, we're back. Oh, yeah. It's getting worse for my opponent. It's great for me. Force of Will. Now it's all protected. Backup Nadu. Nomad, get in. We got the GGs. Yeah, at this point, it is safe to concede if you're a fair deck. I have the things going. You've seen the Force in the hand. And that is a positive record with Nadu Breakfast. We got to see the pros and cons of this list. There were games where I just dumpstered my opponent turn 2 or 3, and we just got out of there very quickly. There were also many games where the Dread Return and the Thassa's Oracle and the Memory's Journey spent time in my hand where they're not useful Magic cards. Pros and cons to playing this version versus like the mid-range Green Sun Zenith version is you're never going to draw Dread at your turn, but you're also never going to win on turn 2. And you'll have to balance that depending on what your tolerance for risk is in your deck selection. Deck feels good though. Nadu feels crazy. slotting a value engine that ignores traditional hate for a combo deck that already existed is certainly something that we can't ignore in the format. This is one of at least 3 viable and meaningfully different Nadu decks that exist. You have to know about all of them. Playing against Delver in the last round was pretty refreshing, but otherwise this league was 3 combo decks and a Moonstompy, so Legacy still feels pretty fast in general. We will see how the metagame bears out. 1 league doesn't mean anything, but we'll see what ends up on the top as more data comes out and more challenges and leagues and stuff are played. Still keeping an eye on it. This is the format that we're going to have at least until the end of March. You have to know about Nadu. I hope I have just educated you at least a little bit. Phil, thanks for the opportunity to play this deck. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.